Welcome to Bold Voices, a production of the Community Foundation of Broward, where we explore Broward's biggest issues, get to know some of the people and organizations creating a bold impact in our community, and take a deeper dive into the world of local philanthropy with the experts at the Community Foundation of Broward. And now it's time to be bold.
Hello, and welcome to the Bold Voices podcast, a production of the Community Foundation of Broward. I'm your host, Ellen Jaffe. In our last episode of Bold Voices, we revealed that moving into 2025, the new mantra for the Community Foundation of Broward is Lead with Love. And when the Community Foundation has a mantra, they don't just say it, they live it. And to that end, Community Foundation of Broward has partnered with Business for the Arts Broward to bring the Lead with Love mural project to our home. And we've also partnered with the uniquely talented and visionary artist and innovator, Cey Adams. This project is ultimately going to place 9 Lead with Love murals throughout the county, and that will ultimately be a force of beautification, unification, tourism, undoubtedly, and just as important, something that connects us all, inspires us, and reminds us to treasure and love our community and the people in it. To share more about the project, first I want to welcome the president and CEO of Business for the Arts Broward, Robyn Vegas. Welcome to Bold Voices.
Thank you, Ellen. We're excited to be here today.
So happy to have you. And the creator, designer, and messenger of this mural project that we are calling Lead with Love, Cey Adams. Welcome.
Hey, Ellen, how are you?
Doing great. I just can't wait to get into your background, but we're going to start with Robyn and Business for the Arts Broward. In case people don't know what that is and what you do, can you give us the background as executive director of this nonprofit?
Sure. So our mission really is to advocate for the art and culture community by getting the business leaders together to support it. We help to find funding and opportunities for artists to do things in Broward County, such as the Lead with Love mural program.
So you're developing and funding art and culture. Why is that important for a community?
No one's going to want to visit, live, move to Broward County, work, have their children go to school here if we don't have art and culture and things to do. It brings people together in just a way that only art can, whether it's theater, music, visual arts, murals, public art that you see around town. It all kind of works together to build a beautiful fabric for our community.
Cey, that's C-E-Y, Cey Adams, you've been associated with some pretty well-known names, we can say Basquiat and Keith Haring in the art community. And the hip-hop world, the founding creative director of Def Jam Recordings. You didn't do the audio, you were like a visual guy for people like Run DMC, the Beastie Boys, Jay-Z, just to name a few. And now you exhibit and you lecture and teach art workshops at institutions like the Smithsonian National Museum of African American History and Culture, the Museum of Modern Art, Stanford University, Howard University. How did you make all this come about?
Wow, that sounds really great. It's a whole lifetime. It's not one thing. I mean, you mentioned bookends from the time I was a 20-something to present day.
Right.
And it's a lot of years. And, right now I'm celebrating my 40th anniversary as a working artist. And so that takes me all the way back to when I was, practically a teenager. It's a long, long time. And throughout that time, I've been really fortunate to work with so many great people, whether they were folks that ran small independent galleries here in New York City back in the 80s, or, folks that had independent record companies like Def Jam. And all along the way, the one thing that has remained a goal for me is to always make sure that I work with really good people and we're always putting positive information out into the world. Those two things. And that brings me right up to present day, working with Robyn and the folks at BFA and the Community Foundation, because it checks both of my boxes that I just mentioned. And that's why this campaign is so much fun, because we get to make these murals and we get to interact with the community And I can't tell you how much joy it gives me to be able to make things with people that I really like. And we get to share a universal message of positivity and really just to, uplift the community.
How did you come to meet the folks at the Community Foundation and at Business for the Arts?
Well, Robyn and I connected, oh my goodness, I don't even want to say how long ago because she might not, want that floating around, but we've been working together, maybe 10 years, long time. And again, this is all sort of due to the generosity of Robyn and Jared Levan. And like I said, the folks at the Community Foundation, this was all their brainchild.
And yet you have murals and have had them throughout the country. How did that lead to this concept of lead with love?
Well, for me, it was really simple because when I was a teenager and I was writing graffiti, I was just writing my little graffiti handle, Cey. And I thought, okay, that worked for that time period. But after doing all of these different things, and then when public art began to get really hot in the early 2000s, I thought to myself, it's time to step away from the computer because, I spent what feels like a lifetime designing album covers. And I really wanted to start to make public art. And I needed a message that was going to be well received no matter what city or neighborhood or country I was in. And so I settled on the concept of love because it's not something that needs to be copywritten. It doesn't belong to anybody. And it's a message that we certainly need more of when it comes to, putting this in front of young people, really spreading a message to, like we said before, people throughout the community.
Yeah, love really is that one universal word. It's like people smile. Anywhere in the world, when you smile, you're having a conversation with no words. Love is the same thing. Robyn, when you were first talking with Cey and the Community Foundation, how did you all come up with Lead with Love? Was that a group effort?
It was a group effort. The history going back, like Cey mentioned, with BFA and P&I, also does have a connection to the Community Foundation. So it was about 8 or 9 years ago, Cey came in to do a lecture and teach some workshops with some middle school students. We partnered with the Urban League of Broward and the AIDS Healthcare Foundation. And during that week, Cey did workshops with these students and they made a beautiful banner together that they marched with in the AIDS parade. And Cey's message that he told me when he was working with children was for them to love themselves by making good choices for themselves, taking care of themselves and their health. And so it just all ties together. Like Cey said, he always wants to do something positive, and with love and caring and helping others. And so we were looking through the murals and the word love and brainstorming with Community Foundation and Cey and BFA. We all just came together and threw a lot of, titles at the wall and see which one stuck. And Lead with Love just kept being in the forefront of the conversation. And then Cey actually designed a logo for us that says Lead with Love. So that campaign is unique to Broward County and unique to this project. And we're so excited because what a message to tell people: lead with love, start with love, be a leader with love. You can interpret it, in lots of different ways.
Yeah, but all positive. And so I understand the plan is for 9 cities to each get their own mural. There are a couple in place, one on Las Olas Boulevard and one at Plantations Kingsley Park. There's some video of the opening of that, the ribbon cutting. Can you each talk about what that was like to see these things go from concept to existence?
I can't overemphasize how wonderful these folks are because I'm an artist, so I'm already excited about what I'm doing. And the idea that we put our heads together and we came up with this campaign slogan, Lead with Love, it ties perfectly into what we were already doing. And when we started to have these conversations like the folks in Plantation, it connected because they were already doing their version of this type of work. They beautified the park in honor of Mr. Kingsley, and everybody in the community saw that people really cared. And so then when they pitched this idea of doing this mural, we just decided that we were going to do a mural that said, "One Love Plantation." And the idea was really just to incorporate a lot of colors and something that was really bright and positive. And when we did the ribbon cutting ceremony, I was really moved because so many of the local folks came out, in addition to the mayor and all of the corporate partners and a lot of the folks that helped paint the mural. And, I just can't say it enough. It's just so much fun to watch people that just walk by. They have something great to say. And I think everybody in the neighborhood really understands that somebody cares when they see all of these people come together to make this thing. And I can't say enough great things about the work that they do because I just feel really lucky to be able to participate.
I'm getting goosebumps. I'm thinking about One Love. And of course, the first thing that comes to mind is Bob Marley, One Love. Was that intentional? Is that reflecting the neighborhood, Robyn?
Yeah, so Plantation has a big Caribbean culture and they do have a connection with the Marleys as well. So it was important. There's a Caribbean restaurant nearby. Cey ate there multiple times while he was painting the mural. They took care of him, body and soul. It was ingrained in everything we did in that community.
Yeah, I have to tell you, that whole Caribbean vibe kind of influenced Kirk, with Kirk's Corner. And he created a song, Lead with Love, specifically for this new campaign of the Lead with Love murals. We'll preview it for you later in the show. But go ahead.
Just as another note, like while we were at the ribbon cutting, people came up to us and were asking us to cut little pieces of the ribbon for them. Just random people who live in that community. And we were just cutting little sections of this satin ribbon. And they took it from our hands like it was a gold ribbon or some kind of award, something that Cey had his hand on, and the other artists from our community that helped him as well. And, it's just very overwhelming when we see this celebration. Like Cey said, he's excited because he's an artist. I'm excited because I've been working and planning the project. But I think everyone coming together, that's our goal. And we achieved it for sure with the first two.
And that's what I'm thinking as a Broward County resident, thinking of all of these people from one city coming together. All these people in Plantation who may or may not have known each other, and now they've shared an experience. And it's a unique experience that they will have as a memory for life, along with that snippet of gold ribbon. Now, we're looking at Dania Beach is next. There are other cities in line. How do you tailor each of these murals to each local community?
It's easy. First and foremost, it all starts with a series of conversations, and we have board meetings, and we just hash around ideas. But more than anything, I visited Dania Beach quite a few times while I was in town over the years, and so I get to know at least some of the people that are in the community, and then they really give me an opportunity to express the message that I want. And then we sort of go back and forth until we find something that makes everybody happy. And again, this is a great jumping off point when you think about the concept of love. So, the hardest thing is already out of the way. We know what the message is. Now it's a matter of figuring out a way to create something that's not only beautiful, but is going to withstand the test of time, because hopefully, we want these murals to be strong and resilient and to last for many years. And that's one of the things that we also think about when we're coming together. It's not just about what color is it going to be. We want to make sure that it's on a strong foundation. We want to make sure that as many people can be involved as possible, because we want everybody to take ownership. And that was one of the things that I was thinking about when we were talking about Plantation, is there were times when I would be there working, sometimes late at night, sometimes early in the morning. And locals would come up to me and they'd ask my name. They'd ask if I knew who the lead artist was. And I says, well, as fate would have it, it's me. And they would just be so grateful that somebody thought to beautify an area that they live in. And, I'm coming in from out of town, so I don't know what it was like years ago. But judging from how excited people get, I can imagine that this is something that maybe hasn't happened in a long time. I won't say it's the first time, but they remind you that this is a special moment. And I'm lucky enough to share in that moment because I get to meet everybody at a high point. So there's nothing better than that.
And there really has to be a bonding. And I'm seeing it now, not just in each individual community, but throughout all of Broward. When you can drive through a whole county and see that message repeated. And then you think, Robyn, you know this, that each little community in Broward is unique. There are different demographics, different people, different ages, different vibes, different ethnicities. So when you've been talking to the cities about bringing Lead with Love to them, how do you get them on board knowing that each is different?
So we definitely looked at a whole map of Broward County, and Cey was kind of surprised to see how many cities were in Broward County. He was like, wow, there's a lot of cities here. We made a wish list with the Community Foundation. We wanted to touch all points of Broward County, and we were really strategic. We wanted to touch north, south, east, west, low income, high income, downtown areas, beach. We just came up with a wish list of where we would love to spread these out around Broward County. And I first started conversations with cities and with, some of the mayors gathering meetings and the city managers meetings, thinking I was going to have to really sell this concept and just work it to get people involved, not knowing I did the first presentation and people just followed me out of the meeting and were like throwing business cards at me from every city. So I was overwhelmed and I felt kind of good that okay, the first one went well. So it's been a joy, and I just take that all back to Cey because I didn't talk very much about myself. I was just showing his portfolio. So
obviously this is a podcast, so people can't see your face, Cey. You are always smiling. It's just like it just comes out of you from within and makes people feel good. You say people were throwing cards at you, and you also incorporated businesses to make this happen. I would love to give them some credit. So who should we thank? You had mentioned Jarrett Levan. Cey, who else was involved with this?
Our key sponsors for the whole project across all of the cities, obviously, is Community Foundation and Business for the Arts Broward, Florida Power and Light, and Dara and Jared Levan's Fund for the Arts of the Community Foundation are our top sponsors. And then additionally, the BBX Capital Fund for the Arts of the Community Foundation, the Broward Cultural Division, and then each city is contributing towards their mural, not only the wall in kind, helping us with permit processes and so forth, but they are also all contributing a financial amount towards the project. So we're just very excited. We're very happy to have such support. And if anyone's listening and they want to support the project, obviously there's still that opportunity.
And how would they reach you if they want to say, oh man, I got to be part of this?
People can find me at bfabroward.org. Look at our public art page. You'll see all of the Lead with Love murals and some of Cey's work.
That's right, because you've done murals around the country, Cey. What are you going to do after these 9 are finished and all of the other cities in Broward County say, I want a Lead with Love mural? What happens then?
Hopefully we can just have the message continue on because, like I was saying, it's not a word that I own. And I think ideally it's something like a message that really resonates with folks. Maybe there'll be other artists that'll decide to participate with BFA and just continue going because, there's no limitation on how badly we need this message spread around the country.
Have you seen changes in the communities where you have done murals in the past, in the whole vibe of a community?
Certainly. I think that every time I come to town, I can't get through without stopping by. For example, the one on Las Olas, it does help that it's right there where Hoff's Chocolates is at. So I have a double reason to come by and visit. But the most important thing is really just seeing people enjoy these murals. And oftentimes I'll just sort of sit there and just watch, and you'll see people taking selfies. And, there've been times when I'm just walking by and someone will ask me to take their picture. And I'm like, oh, wow, cool. And then I said, the guy who did this work is a really talented guy. And he goes, yeah, I know. And then I, sometimes I'll reveal that I worked on it. And most of the time they don't believe it. But it just gives me such a great feeling to watch people engaging. And like I was saying, just to be a part of something that special is a really big deal. And to know that the folks at BFA and the Community Foundation are putting all of this support behind it is really just the best. I can't overstate it enough.
There's a real synchrony here. You know, the Community Foundation always talks about, well, for one thing, their funds can be targeted. So, Robyn, you were talking about this particular fund for the arts and a different fund for the arts. And that's one of the things that makes what they do so special. But also, they use the phrase in perpetuity. When you have a fund with them, you're giving forever. And this is what this project is. It is forever. Once it's up, it will stay up. So that not just the people who were there that day or for the ribbon cutting or help paint a little bit, but in the future, they will know that Broward County leads with love. So it's kind of a silly question. What does that make you feel like?
I would say this is like a legacy project, really. I mean, there's no other county in the United States that has 9 love murals. So I'm so proud of it, and I'm so proud of him and the way he gives back and loves the community. And pressed to have a little piece of that with us all year and every day, even when he's back up in New York. It just makes me smile when I see it.
You're looking at Dania Beach toward the end of February into March to do the actual work. Can people come out and watch or even paint a little bit?
Yeah, certainly they can come out and watch immediately. But ideally, the folks that end up helping are usually the sponsors and their families. But for the most part, I think that if somebody came out and they were the little kid, you know, I sort of make exceptions for them because, again, I really want everybody to take ownership. And that is one of the best things about doing a mural that's on the ground as opposed to something that's way up in the air, is that you get an opportunity to have local folks take a brush and, you know, paint a little section of it and really have ownership. And there's no better feeling than to have all those folks come together when we do the ribbon cutting. And it's this one big creative family that was born over the course of a couple of weeks. And that's, again, one of those things that's so special about public art. It has this way of connecting with people and bringing us all together. And that's really the mission that I've been on since, like I said, since I was a teenager. I've wanted to really just do nothing else but spread joy. And that's what it's all about for me.
That's twice I've got goosebumps. Thank you. And, you know, all I can think about is we've heard the word divisive so much since COVID, I think. People have been stressed, and to have something like this that brings people together and spreads love and good feelings is so critical at this moment in time. So I just want to thank both of you for making it happen, and the Community Foundation of Broward. It's a permanent positive improvement, expansion, I'll say. I'd rather say expansion in our community. Say, where can people look at your album covers and your other murals and learn about you?
You can go to my website, CeyAdams.com, and you can go to Instagram, again, my first name and last name, so it's at CeyAdams, and I use that same handle for all of the social media platforms. You could also go to the BFA website and check out some of the work that we've done there as well.
Or you could go to Las Olas Boulevard near Hoffman's Chocolates and go to Plantations Kingsley Park and see the 2 that are already up in person. Robyn, once again, the website for Business for the Arts?
BFABroward.org.
Of course, you can also go to the Community Foundation website, cfbroward.org, and read about Lead with Love. And this will be continuing in some form throughout the year, the new mantra. And I'm excited to be in the presence of people who have so much joy and so much love to share. Thank you both for being with us on Bold Voices, and can't wait to see you in February in Dania Beach.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Thank you so much, Ellen. And thank you to Robyn and all the folks at BFA and obviously our friends at the Community Foundation.
Thank you both.
You're both awesome. Thank you. We could not complete an episode of Bold Voices with the Community Foundation of Broward without Kirk's Corner. Kirk Engelhardt joining us now, Vice President of Marketing and Communications. Kirk, I'd love to get your take from the inside on all of these people that we talk to and these projects like Lead with Love. Last time we spoke, you revealed that Lead with Love was going to be the mantra for the Community Foundation for 2025. And I was just marveling at how you don't just say you're going to do something, you put it into practice. So Lead with Love isn't just words, it's now action.
It is. It's tangible. You're going to be able to see it, feel it, touch it, get your picture taken in front of it all across our community. But before I go into that, I mean, aren't Robyn and Cey just fabulous?
Oh my gosh. This was one time I wanted us to be live on screen with people because the smiles on their faces and on mine. I kept getting the goosebumps talking to them because all of the conversation about love and positivity and bringing people together, unifying, is so important.
So for me, getting to be connected to an artist like Cey is very special. Because when I started to dig into his past and his past work and where he started, I started realizing, holy cow, this is the guy that designed a lot of the album covers that were on the albums in my collection when I was a kid. So I was looking at his art and I'm thinking, this is the one who did it. Oh, wow. And so I had one of those fanboy moments where I was just kind of blown away.
Yeah, so, I was looking at the names and I'm like, LL Cool J, Jay-Z, the Notorious B.I.G. My goodness, the Beast.
You name it. Cey is a very special guy. And we see not only the love that he puts into his work, but the love that is generated by the work that he creates. And at the Community Foundation, we wrapped the Be Bold campaign at the end of 2024. And now we're on to Lead with Love. And that is our new mantra moving forward. And this project is a tangible manifestation of that message. You know, philanthropy means love of humanity. And Lead with Love builds on what we were doing with Be Bold because it focuses on how and why as a community, we engage in philanthropy. It's about love of community. It's about compassion, connection, partnership. And when you think about all of those things and you hear what Cey was talking about, creating those positive vibes and the unity in the community, this is a natural match for the Community Foundation. I can't think of a better person to be working with on this project. And love is a message that speaks to everyone. It speaks to our donors. It speaks to nonprofits. It speaks to community leaders. Anybody who's involved with us, and frankly, anybody who lives in this community can connect with this message. You know, we're inviting people to give, to serve, to lead in ways that strengthen Broward. And when they lead, we want them to lead with love, because I think we can all agree that in this day and age, what we can use a whole lot more of in this world is love. And it can make a very, very big difference in people's lives. And this is not just a one-shot deal. It's not a one mural deal. This is 9 murals across our community in every commission district, north, south, east, west. And I can see maybe down the road in the future, there's a time when people will come to our area and they'll do the Broward County Love Mural Tour, and they will see corners of the community that they might not have gone and ventured into and seen had this project not existed.
Yes.
So you talk about unifying the community and showing off some of the best and brightest in this community and what makes this a great place. This project has the potential to do that. Let's think about another reason that's important. We're in the most diverse county in the state, if not one of the most diverse counties in the nation. So a one size fits all does not work for anything here in our community. And tailoring these murals to the communities in which they're going to be seen and where those murals are going to live, that's probably the most unifying thing we could ever do. Making sure that the people in those communities feel seen, feel a part of it, feel like it's their mural. And I think that that's another thing that makes this project so very special. The other message that I think is interesting is we know in our community there are a lot of people here who have roots elsewhere. And we want people to realize that it is important to give where you live and support the community where you have your roots now. So it's just another way to spread that message and encourage people to share some love and spread some love within the place that they currently live.
This really is the ultimate message of philanthropy, showing that love, sharing the love, and giving the love, and leading with love. So I must commend you, the CEO, Jennifer O'Flannery Anderson, and Robyn from Business for the Arts Broward, and of course Cey bringing his incredible imagination and skills to Broward County. I think people will be very grateful. Kirk Engelhardt, Vice President of Marketing and Communications for the Community Foundation of Broward. Thank you for communicating that to us. We invite you to check back regularly for new episodes of Bold Voices. Better yet, when you go to cfbroward.org, sign up to receive the regular newsletter, and that will inform you when there will be a new edition of Bold Voices. And finally, the moment you've been waiting for, we promised we would preview the song for you. Kirk himself created this, inspired by the Lead with Love mural project and the mantra for the Community Foundation of Broward, and it's called Lead with Love. Enjoy.
Whoa, 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 double, 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 yeah, yeah. Wake up in the morning, rise up strong. You give a little kindness, pass it on. Whoa, whoa. One world, one heart, we're shining bright. Ooh. Lift each other up, let's do it right, right. Lead with love, let the good vibes flow. Plant the seeds and watch them grow. Hand in hand, we rise above. Change the world when we lead with love. Every little action, every small grace brings a little light to a darkened place. Oh, no division, no more hate. Together we can elevate. Lead with love, let the good vibes flow. Plant the seeds and watch them grow. Hand in hand, we rise above. Change the world when we lead with love. Whoa, 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 yeah. Whoa, 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 oh, yeah. Oh, no, no, no. Whoa, lead with love, let the good vibes flow. Plant the seeds and watch them grow. Hand in hand, we rise above. Change the world when we lead with love. Oh, we'll lead with love. Whoa, 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 whoa. Lead with love. Whoa, 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 whoa. Lead with love. Oh, whoa, whoa. Lead with love. Oh, whoa, whoa, oh, oh, oh.
Thank you for listening to Bold Voices. We hope you've enjoyed this episode and hope you'll be inspired to join us in creating a better Broward for all. If you'd like more information, visit us online at cfbroward.org and remember to always be bold.